Good morning, everyone. Of course, when you're watching this, it may be the middle of the night, but for me, it is bright and early. I typically do my videos a little later than this, but here in Florida right now, it is 51 degrees. So every day I do a walk run and I'm not doing it in 51 degrees. So I'm going to do it later. So I'm doing this video pretty early. You're going to hear school buses, sandhill cranes. If you don't know what sandhill cranes are, look them up. They're really cool looking. They're big birds. And when they fly, they screech at each other. So I just heard them before I started this, but you might hear it again. So anyway, I wanted to share this card with you and I wanted to show you how I did it. This is kind of like an old technique. I ran into it again and I was like, I have an idea, and it was for these leaves. This is the autumn leaves, not the stamps. There are stamps to go with it, but here's the dies. And so I wanted to do this technique, and I put this card together, and it's really one of my favorite cards. So basically what we're doing is we're using tissue paper that you put in gift bags, that kind of stuff. I'm using just a white one, the regular white like this. And what we're going to do is we're just going to color this tissue paper. You can use tissue paper for lots of different things. Candles that you can decorate, you use tissue paper. Obviously what I'm doing is I'm die cutting it later. You could also use it for a background. I have different examples to show you once we get started. Okay, so what I've got here is I have a cutting mat, just a smaller type cutting mat, and inside of it is a piece of the basic white. It's the thick cardstock. That has nothing to do with what's on here, but this is kind of like my tool. And then I took a page protector, a 12 by 12 page protector that you would have like from scrapbooking, and I put it over the top of all of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking ink and I'm going to use them on, you need the plastic. The plastic's the most important part, but I liked having a harder surface, and I liked having the white behind it so that I could see the colors as I put them on there. I can see it, better. So I've got Daffodil Delight, Pumpkin Pie, and Cajun Craze here. And we're gonna just start. This is messy. You can kind of see it on my hands from last night because I was practicing it and figuring out how I was gonna try to make it look as similar to those as I could. It gets everywhere. So, I mean, it gets all over your hands and everything, but it's really fun. All right. Okay, so I'm going to start. I always go lightest to darkest. This is Daffodil. I'm just going to pick this up. Well, actually, I don't have to pick it up. Getting that ink. Getting just as much as I can on there because you need quite a lot to get that tissue paper completely colored. And then Pumpkin Pie. All right, so I am going to use Cajun Craze, but this is why I did it last night. Cajun Craze obviously is so much darker than Daffodil Delight and Pumpkin Pie. So when I did Cajun Craze on there, everything just got so dark. So I'm going to do it this way with y'all. And then we'll go back and we'll add some Cajun Craze, okay? So I'm not going to close those yet because I might need to do more ink. I've got my spritzer here. It's just filled with regular water, and I'm just going to give it a couple sprays, and then we're going to kind of mix it together. All right. Make sure I'm not spraying this in the wrong direction. All right, then I've got just one of our palette knives. I'm just sort of mixing it all together. All right, So here's our tissue paper. All right, this is where you get messy. You can see it's still got a lot of white on here. You want to be really careful with the tissue paper. It tears very easy. All right, so I'm just gonna put this over to the side and we're gonna do a little more. I even tried this with the re-inkers, but that just made it, you have re-inkers, it makes it really dark. So I just wanted it, you know, even if you're using like the Daffodil Delight re-inker, it's really dark. So, all right, we're getting there. Of course, the wetter it gets, the more fragile it gets. All right. Oops, see, it just tore. That's okay though. I have lots of examples over here I'll show you, and most of them have tears in them. All right, so now what we're gonna do is now I'm gonna do the Cajun Craze. See, look at my hands. It does come off. Usually it doesn't take long for it to come off. It's like wash your hands a few times, it'll come off, or if you take a shower, it definitely comes off. And I still have some white on here, but I'm okay with that. If I can't pick up my card right now because my hands are such a mess, but there is a little bit of white on there. Okay, and there's some right there. All right. So there we go, there's that. What you're gonna do is you're going to, basically what you do is you put it on a paper towel to dry. Okay, so now it's on a paper towel and we're just gonna let it dry. But we don't have to wait for it to dry because I did, like I said, I did so many last night. All right, I just wanted to show, this is one that I did where I put all the ink down. Let's see, let me zoom out a little more. Oh, that's zooming in. Okay. I did last night and I put all three inks, the daffodil, the pumpkin, and the Cajun. I did it all at once. And then I mixed it up. And so this is what I got. So it made it a much darker. And I mean, it definitely, I don't know if you can tell in the video, it does have, it has other, it's not just all one color, but it's so much darker and I wasn't crazy about that. So that's why I started doing it where, and then I did what I just did last night. So this one where it's, the Cajun was added later, not at the same time. And then this one too. So I preferred those for what I was doing for this, but I'll keep this because I could use this for something else, definitely. And then I still have the one that I did the re-inkers. Okay, so same colors, just the re-inkers, and this is what I got. So this is basically one color, and the Cajun Craze just takes over, if you see what I mean. And the re-inkers are very dark. So that's that. Okay. So that's like basically one color. So to me, the whole point of this is to make something so it has different shades, you know, to make the leaves look like how they really look. All right, I'm going to go wash my hands, and then I'm going to show you what you do next. You do not die cut on this because it'll fall apart. You're going to adhere it to some paper, and then you'll see what we do. Okay, so I just have baby wipes here, and so, which I've used these. I have a video using those with the re-inkers for stamping. But anyway, so all I'm using it for here is just to clean this off. Okay, so I keep this with my tools so I can use it that way. All right. Okay, so I got a piece of basic white here. I'm using one of the ones that I made last night because I'm letting the other one dry. About the same size. You know, I'm not using it as a background. I'm using it for die cutting, so it doesn't have to be about the same size. And what I got here is Mod Podge. Mod Podge has matte and gloss. I used the matte on this one, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to try the gloss. Just got a foam brush, got my craft mats here, which they had them in bigger because for something like this. So you want to get it on there, and you want a good amount. You don't want it too thick or anything, but you want it, you want glue on there because you're going to press down. And so yes, I'm going to get it all over my hands like I do just about everything when I make a card. Ink, glue. All right. Gonna crinkle it a little to give it some, let's see. All right. And you're gonna press down. Make it stick to that. You have some white spaces. Okay. And then you're going to go over the top of it with the Mod Podge again. This one you got to be careful because you don't want to tear it and lift it up. See? That's okay though. If I was using it for a background, I do have, I'll show it to you in this video, a card that I made the background with the tissue, and I did have some tear up and stuff, so I'll show you the card and tell you what I did to fix that. All right, let that dry. And then I think ours is dry, so I'm gonna do that one too. Okay, so here's the one that we just colored, and I'm putting it on the basic white with the Mod Podge. This one has way more things that stick up. Kind of easier when it's bigger. All right. Okay. All right, so we're gonna let both of those dry. Foam brushes, you know, not expensive, but I'm gonna go clean this off so that I can use it again. And once it's dry, then we'll get going. Okay, while we wait for those to dry, here's one that I did that I didn't put enough Mod Podge on there. So it started lifting up and then tearing and everything. So I got frustrated with myself, of course. But I wanted to show you that you can fix it. You can leave it as it is. Just keep putting some more glue on there. See, this is like coming up and everything. But what I'm gonna do is I have like the ones I showed you that are a little bit too dark. And so I'm just gonna sort of add those to this. And like I said, I will show you the car that had happened. And basically I did the same thing as what I'm doing right here is adding some more tissue to it. And I'm just gonna oh, just tore that too. Just making a mess. Okay. Could use scissors on this, I guess, but oh gosh, Aaron. Okay. All right, moving on. Sometimes I wish I just had a sink in my stamp room. So many projects are so messy like this, and it's like, that would have been nice to have a sink. Okay, so you can do that. I think that's good. That will take a while to dry because there's lots and lots of glue on there. I do have glue all over my hands, but I'm going to go ahead and show you that card that I made. And what I did was I used it as the background, and it did have spaces where it was white. So what I did, here it is. Gotta love those bones, man. I've made so many cards with those things. Are these glow in the, I think this is, yeah, this is glow in the dark. These two are glow in the dark, and this is glow in the dark. But you can see what I did was instead of all the oranges and yellows, I did purple. And then when I put it on there, there were spaces. So I had, this is the original one that I did for those leaves. I just cut different pieces of it and put it where it was white. So it made a really cool background. So you can, you know, your mistakes don't have to be thrown away. You can fix them. And so that's the way I did it, how I just showed you and everything. So we'll let that dry. I'm still waiting for my other ones to dry, and then we'll make the card. Okay, this is almost dry. So what I did, if you can see, you see some of the dark spots on there. What I did was, what I'm going to do right now is with Versamark and copper embossing powder. So what you want to do, there are some that stick up, but you're going to get it in other places too. I mean, that's just the way it goes. But you want to just very lightly obviously the ones with the skeletons, I did it with silver embossing powder. Here, I'll show you. See, it's silver embossing powder. All right. All right. See it on there. I'll brush some of it off, but just sort of all right. Got embossing powder everywhere, but I got that little vacuum. Okay, you can see it get shiny. Okay, and then let's see. All right, there we go. So this one is still, okay, now they're mowing behind my house. I have a pond behind my house, and so they mow that. What's today? Wednesday, yeah, they mow on Wednesdays. Okay, so try and do this one. This is a big one, the one I made in the video. So okay. It's gonna be fun putting it on here because it's so big. This would be actually a really cool background. I just sort of spread it around a little bit. All right. Yes, the pond behind our house, it's pretty big. And another wonderful thing about Florida is gators. You won't see them today because it's cold. When it's cold, they stay in the water to keep warm. But when it's not cold, you can see them swimming, or on the other side of the pond, which is quite a ways away, and it's almost like a swampy kind of place with trees and stuff. They lay over on that side. Thank goodness they don't lay in my backyard. Although one time one did lay in my backyard. But so that's what you get. We get lots of ducks, whistler ducks, sandhill cranes. Sometimes we have an eagle back there. So that's the kind of stuff you get in ponds. Gators. Anywhere in Florida, you're going to get gators. And you just stay away from them and don't feed them. If you feed them, then they're not scared of you. Because they're more scared of you than you are of them, unless you feed them. Then every time they see you, they think, you're bringing me some food. All right, so there we go. We got some on there. That heat actually helped dry this a little more. Okay. All right, let's get die cutting. Okay, so for this card, we need 2 of the little ones and 1 of the big ones. Let's see it. There we go. Okay, so here's our big one. Oh yeah, that's going to be really pretty. And then here's the little ones, which the little ones are, there's no stamp that goes with them, so they're not just the outline. Actually, I'm just going to do that one first. And also, these come with the stem. This one does not. There's this. So what I did for this one is I also die cut that, but I didn't put it on top because that's how it typically does, is it goes on top. But I just want the bottom of it so that it has a stem. So, well, let's just do this one first. Yeah, these are going to be a little, of course, if I made this card 400 times, they're all going to be different, because when you use this technique, look at that. How pretty is that? I mean, gosh, I'd like to make something that I can hang in my house. Ooh, new idea. Okay, and so for the stem, I'm just going to do it over here because I just need a little bit of it. So there's that space that you probably couldn't use for, of course, for anything else. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Well, it's in there. Here. There's our stem. Okay, put that over there. Now for the little leaves, this one was, do that. No, don't fall off the paper. You need to have the whole thing show. There's one leaf. I mean, it's like when you look at the paper on its own, it's like, well, it kind of like my embossing with the copper wasn't my favorite. Look at that. Really cool. Okay. keep my nice, clear die cut plate that I use just for my videos so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, where'd my stem go? Oh no. Oh, it's right there. Okay. I mean, so pretty. Where's the card? Card's right here. So gonna be obviously different, but yeah. Okay, so obviously this is the autumn paper. So here we go. There's the one that I added the stuff to fix it a little bit. The one I colored for you today, the one I did last night. So I got all kinds of stuff, but I mean, you could use that for lots of stuff. The paper that I used, do I have any of it left? I don't, but let's see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. It's this one right here, but I started thinking maybe this right here, this shiny, ooh, that might be really pretty. Just make them a little different. There we go. Maybe. We're not going to make the whole card. It's pretty easy. It's just that, and then there's I don't know why when I'm making a video I still get all my text and everything. It's this one. So I just cut a little strip of that. And then the Endlessly Grateful is it's not from the Autumn Leaves stamp set. It's from the Very Best Occasions, and it's right there. And I stamped it with pumpkin pie, and then I die cut it with this from the Nested Essentials. And then the bow, the ribbon, I need to label all my stuff so I know what I'm talking about. This is part of the Autumn Leaves, the Sweet, with this copper. It comes with another color too. It comes with this one. So that's what I did the little bow with. So pretty, the rest of the card is easy, and not that this was hard or anything, but it is. It's a little different, and it obviously allowing it to dry. You know, your tissue, when you color and then you stick your tissue in it and then you take it off, you got to let that dry, and then you put the Mod Podge on and put the tissue on top of it, and then put Mod Podge on top. You got to let that dry. So there is some, you know, it takes a little bit that way, but that part, like I said, now look at all these I've got. I mean, I've got that for all kinds of stuff. Oh, I wanted to show you. So obviously you can die cut it, and obviously you can use it for the background because I showed you the background for this. You can punch it too. Let's see. You can see I punched some pumpkins from this. Let's do one. So see, it punches easy too. And look, oh, the pumpkin's got a bite taken out of it, but look at the pumpkin. Isn't that cool too? So anything that you would make, I mean, there's so many options for this. It's endless. I mean, really cool tissue paper. Different colors. Obviously you can see I did it in orange and in purple. You could do it in any color, and it would be, you could do, you know, pinks and greens and other purples and stuff, and die cut or punch flowers out of it. It would be really cool, and it's never going to look the same. So anyway, so that's the tissue paper thing. Obviously for the Autumn Leaves, I have a PDF for that, and obviously for the Bag of Bones, Thumb Bones, I have a PDF for that. So you can see those on my website under the shop link at the top. You'll see PDF tutorials. I have a ton. But just wanted to share that. Really, it's easy. It's, you know, kind of messy and stuff, but it really can make some really stunning cards that are never going to look the same. I mean, if I made that again, it's not going to look just like that. It'll be similar, but it's not going to look like that. Okay. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope everyone's having a great day. See ya.